What's up, YouTube? Now let's take a look at how to deploy Phase 3 with IKEv2. One of the use case that I see this could be handled is in IKEv1, all the routers they had to agree on the authentication encryption scheme. If we were to use a different authentication, different ciphers on each site, it means that we would have to configure a different set of policies on hub. With IKEv2, we say to hub what are the encryptions and algorithms that it's going to accept, and that's what is called proposal, and every other spoke, whatever it's using, as long as it's already enabled on the hub, it is going to accept, so the session will come up. So let's see how does it work actually. So the major change in terms of configuration, it's just in phase 1. Okay, so in IKEv1 we define the ISACAM policy. With IKEv2 we actually have a couple of settings to do. So let's start with the proposal, and this should be crypto IKEv2 proposal, and I'll say DMVPN proposal, give it a name, and I'll say for encryption we have to configure at least encryption, integrity, and that's hashing, and Diffie-Hellman groups. So for encryption, let's say that I want to support CBC 128, AES-CBC 192, and AES-CBC 256. Now for integrity, that's my hashing. What am I going to support? Let's say that I support SHA-256, SHA-384, SHA-5112. As for groups, let's say 14, 15, and 16. Okay, one for each site, or one of the spokes. Now, then we have to tie this proposal to a policy, and crypto IKEv2 policy, and I'll say DMVPN policy, and we're going to call the proposal DMVPN proposal. Now, which peers are we going to authenticate? So we're going to say crypto IKEv2, that's going to be keyring. Let's just go keyring, and we give it a name to identify the peers. I could use one identify each spoke, but let's just use wildcard address, and let's say address 0, 0, 0, 0, and I'm going to use pre-shared key and name CCI. Okay, and this keyring is going to be referenced by IKEv2 profile, so it's going to be IKEv2 profile DMVPN profile, and I have to match the identity of remote address. Now use wildcard masks. And how are we going to authenticate? We're going to use pre-share, and the local is going to be pre-share as well. And now we have to tie the keyring on this profile keyring. And finally, we have to call. So for phase 1, this is it. So we define a proposal, a policy, keyring, and a profile. And now for phase 2, we just have to call the IPsec profile DMVPN, on just name DMVPN, and set IKEv2 profile DMVPN profile, and then enable tunnel protection, and that should be tunnel protection IPsec profile and profile DMVPN. Okay, everything is okay. Just before changing, let's see what is the current status. Okay, so made the first registration, and now it's going to take the shortcut. Okay, so just to prevent noise. Okay, done. And now let's do the same for spokes. Now for each spoke, I'm going to make slight change. So doubling and Brussels. So Brussels is going to use 256, 512, and 16. And yep. Now pass this. Just shut the interface while making these changes. And doubling is going to use 192, 384. And did I remove the integrity? Group, yes. Oops. Yeah. And that should do it. Should do it for doubling. Shut this. And London says they're going to use IPsec 14 hash 256 and encryption 128. Yeah. Shut the interface. Okay. Now open, bring the interface back, doubling and Brussels. DMVPN, and it's up. Okay, that's okay. And that's up already. Let me see, is SPF up? The shape not SPF. Not yet. Let me see. Show IPsec interface brief. I see 3 neighbors. And we'll show IPsec neighbors. They are okay. That's strange. 1014. That's from Brussels. One receiving from Brussels. E1 is down. Why it went down? Strange. Okay, it's coming up. Okay, now it's okay. So encryption, it's working already. You can see the show crypto session. Okay, and I can see it's up. 14, that's Brussels, and 10, that's Dublin, and 6, that's London. Okay, let's see how it changes, how it affects our data plane. So first packet, we have to go to hub. It's taking longer. What's the problem? Is it see London? 10.1.2, it's not here. But I'm advertising. And New York has it. London doesn't have it. Why? That's strange. 1602. Okay. DT1 route install. 10.1.10.1.5.3. No. There is a problem with between these two. So actually, before flapping the tunnel, everything is okay with Brussels. That's curious. So 10.1.5.4. Okay, I'm just going to flap the tunnel to see if it changes. For some reason, it doesn't want to come up. Okay. 10.1. Oh, now I see. 10.1.2. Okay. 10.1.5.2. I can see the route, but for some reason I can get to you. 10.1.5.2. And I'm able to resolve. Okay, well, this is not about DMVPN, NHRP. Just check between Brussels and London. So that should be 10.1.4.2, and it's working. Well, I have to troubleshoot this another time. Now, well, right now it's working, the tunnel, but one thing that I noticed is that for some reason that I haven't really understood why, is that it's still with that behavior of going always to the hub. I haven't figured out why, although I'm using I'm using phase 3 on every router, but this is something so you can guys also practice. Okay, so that's it. DMVPN phase 3 using IKEv2 as the encryption solution. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.